Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So, as you know, if you've been following the channel, one of my go-to tools is my DeWalt jigsaw. This is at the top of my list whenever I start a fab project, doing woodwork, whatever I might be needing to do to finish a project. This is one of my main go-to tools. But in recent years, the industry has gone from these old style U-type jigsaw blades where the set screw holds the blade in to these T-type blades. So sometimes some stores are out of these. Well, this is a big old wood cutting blade here, obviously. A few weeks ago and a couple of times over the last year, I've run short on blades. And as you can imagine, if you have experience with a jigsaw, I go through quite a few sheet metal blades. So I had to run out to the big box store. They didn't have any of these U-type blades for metal. All they had was wood. So I ran around to 2 or 3 different places. I didn't have time to wait for them to come in and order them online and wait for them to get here. So I just, like I say, 3 times it's been a problem. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go buy a new jigsaw. That way I have an option. And since my other DeWalt was so good for so many years, that's what I did. I bought this one. So let's take this thing outside and open it up and we'll try it out. I got a little work I need to do. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy opened up. And I think one of the big thing with this style saw is that you don't have to have any tools to change the blades. Because, you know, a lot of guys get out there in the field and, you know, they're up in the air, they're working on a building, they're doing trim work, they're up on a scaffold, whatever, and they don't want to have to, oh, it comes with a bag, okay. I was wondering, because my other one's got that nice case. Yeah, this one comes with a nice little DeWalt bag to put it in. Okay, that's cool. That's like my little drill bit pack I got. So, of course, here's your owner's manual. And I'll probably stop and flip through this real quick to make sure I don't do anything silly. So here it is. And to load it, all you do is push back on this. Push this little lever back. And that lets you put the blade in and out. So you don't need an Allen wrench or anything. It's got all the same features my other one's got. And it's got the throttle stop, which my other one doesn't have, up here so you can set the blade speed so you can just hit it. And I can see that being pretty handy. So let's get a blade on this and get this little project I need to cut out. Okay, so I gotta cut this compounded angle here. Well, not really compounded angle, but it's not perfectly straight angle on this 2x4. Okay, so here's our T-type blade. Get it over here against the 2x4 so you can see it a little better. And all you have to do is push this down. You slide it in. And it just locks in place. There it is. Now, in case you're wondering, no, we were not plugged in, but we will be in just a second. And then we're going to start making this cut, and we're going to see if the saw lives up to the legend of the old one. Let's see how it does. Fires right up. All right, here we go. And it just vibrated the plug out of the cord. One moment, please. And it looks like it's holding pretty good. Now I can feel it starting to walk, so what I need to do is turn this, and I got to go get a screwdriver so I can flip the shoe around and use the more reinforced end of the saw here, so we're not having to stay out on this wide spread. But so far so good. It's cutting clean, and the few little bobbles it's had here has been me, not the saw. So it looks like we're passing the wood test with flying colors. And it is cutting smooth with that Bosch blade. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. And that blade is actually cutting very nicely. Now, as you can see, I've switched it so we're on the tighter end. That way I got more ledge up here as I get to this thin part. Now, as you can see, I switched to one tighter end. I got more ledge up here. Go ahead and zoom back in. Got a little bit off the line there. Okay, and here's our filler piece, and I'm going to say that it did a nice job. That blade cut nicely. That's almost perfectly smooth. It feels like it's been sanded rather than cut. So I got to say kudos to the Bosch blade as well. A little bit of wobbles from me, but like I said, we're not. It cut that nicely too. So next time we'll try it on a piece of thick aluminum, maybe a piece of 3/8 steel, just cut a corner out or something just to see how it does. But so far I'm happy with it. So when we take the big screw out of the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and take the blade out, which is just a matter of pushing down on the lever. When we're in this position on the saw, where we're using the tight shoe, you can't rock it. You can't put the side angle on it. And the way that works out, let me get this out of here. See this bolt hole right here? That's what that big screw goes into. And this is the piece right here that this slides on. Now see these little detents right here? When you go to this shoe, you have to go to this bolt hole, so you're not in the slot, so you can't angle it. You can't do the compound angle. So typically I'm going to run it here, so that's where I'm putting it back to, because you never know when you're going to have to do an angle, and you don't want to have to stop and change the saw each time. Now in this case I kind of didn't have a choice, but it's nice to know that it has the capability. Now I did notice one thing that is not with this saw, and I'm sure it's an accessory, and I'm going to go look in that box and see if I missed it, because I don't hardly ever use it on my other saw. Look down here for your 0 mark and line your pointer back up, and then just tighten the screw up. Now it doesn't have to be stripping the aluminum body out tight, but you do want to get it good and snug. So there's that. This slot right here is for a rip guide, so you can cut straight lines with your jigsaw. And I want to get that box to see if there was one in there and I missed it. No, there was no rip guide in there, so I'll have to look in the other one's box. I'm sure the guide to it's still in the case. I can probably use it on this one. Although it's not something I use regular, it is nice to have. So there we go. And this makes it easy to take the blade out when you put it away at the end of the night. This makes it nice when you put the blade away at the end of the night. You can just pop it out, put the tool back in its little bag, and you're ready to take it home, throw it in the truck, put it up on a shelf, back in the bench, toolbox, whatever the case may be. So anyway, there it is, cutting its first piece of wood. I'm sure you all will see it later. DeWalt did not sponsor this video. As a matter of fact, nobody sponsored this video except for me. And so far, I'm very happy with it. It did drive nice. It feels good in my hand. And I think it'll live up to what the other one left for it to have to follow. So, as always, practice your skills, learn a new one, turn it into craftsmanship. Either way, you never know how far it'll take you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. This has been Fab Race Mod Repeat.